things that I found fascinating about the developments between Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, right, was that each state focused on different parts of the industry more, and that was reflected in what their actual industry looks like. So Connecticut, we put home grow at the top of the list, and we considered home grow part of equity, right? And so it was kind of non-negotiable. However, New Jersey didn't spend as much time on home grow, but your industry support is way better. And there was a lot more effort on
Really?
programs. Yes, yes, like without a doubt. And a lot more access and support systems for the business operators, education for the public, right? Like there are a lot of things in New Jersey that are better than Connecticut. Our social equity council also hasn't really released the most of the funds that got set aside for community improvement grants, although it is moving forward a little bit more now. And then New York had a very wide definition of equity where they included folks like veterans and women and farmers, right? So distressed farmers are part of the equity program in New York, where Connecticut didn't even consider that, right? Until much later when a hemp
Weed
conversation.
farmer to do some like jerk off who's got like some fucking crop and probably didn't even like weed, like in the worst case
I'm not a
scenario.
huge fan of that definition, but it is the definition that was agreed to, right? But
Yeah,
to
that
me,
was the
it's
thing.
overly
Yeah.
broad.
Yeah, that's interesting to say like what state did what better. Yeah, no, homegrown like we definitely had like all these fucking MSOs and a lot of people that wanted to make money, and it was easier to say here's like an Hispanic guy that wants to make money, a black guy that wants to make money, as well as like a soulless corporation that wants to make money on weed, and like that works. Versus like home grow has always been very home gardening is very difficult. The fucking name home grow is difficult because we're talking about gardening, and gardening is not growing. And this is what they always fucking said is that the gardeners would be growing like they were like a fucking company. Versus like I'm trying like, versus we have like Andrea Rabel, it's definitely like invigorate the movement. To talk about like to say like she wants to grow for her condition specifically. To say like this is like the adult use market is like the over the counter OTC like health market, and it is for me, but like the very and like I got chronic conditions. She has very severe conditions. And wants like even more specific things. So that's like really difficult. And yeah, that's so interesting. Like comparing the states and say like that was really at like the forefront of Connecticut versus like I guess like fighting the MSOs. Like you have like the two fronts, and like I guess at one point we were able to just find more support for like like small business people here. And then this interesting infrastructure, I guess, of the industry you were saying.
Sure.